Hello YouTube family, how you guys doing? It's your boy Fortune in life with TRAVAE and Fortune, and today video I'm here by myself to really give you guys one of the promise I gave you guys in the last video that you guys just watched. I said I really want to help to really release a video of how my interview went, release a video of how my K1 visa interview went, and the possible questions they might ask you, the beneficiary out of the United States of America, the possible question they're gonna ask you in the US Embassy. Actually this is a very simple interview, but I really want to make sure that anyone in this process really get yourself well prepared, because if you are not well prepared, definitely those simple things will make you not to get that visa that you really want to get. These are the most important questions, and I have heard that it's frequent questions that they always ask everyone, mostly for this K1 visa. And there's one thing I really want you guys to really get it right here. In this interview, when you prepare yourself, when you make sure that you are well prepared and come with everything needed for you to come to that interview, definitely, my brother or my sister, there's nothing that will make them deny you the visa. This visa is like more than 90% sure of you getting this visa when you get prepared. It doesn't worth it when you go for something like this when you are not prepared. But when you prepared, you gotta see that you're gonna go out smiling, jubilating with your approval of your visa. So in this video today, I really want to make sure that I really make people that's into this K1 visa, that's at the badge of going to the interview, they are well prepared. They are always asking some most simple question, and get it right that the most question they're gonna be asking you is mostly a question for your fiancé or your fiancé, your petitioner, the one in the United States of America. That's mostly a person they're gonna be asking you question of how much you know him or her. If two of you are into this relationship, if two of you are into this together, how much do you know him or her? So it looks so easy, but it's well need for you to get prepared. And I really want to really hear a lot of testimony that after watching our videos of me and my wife, that most of you go through this process, it went smoothly, and the visa was or is totally granted to you guys. So please watch, listen attentively, and please get prepared. And the first question I remember vividly, the first question they asked me was, what is my fiancé name? My fiancé, my wife that's in the United States of America, what is her full name? It looks so easy, it looks so simple, but it's very needed. Some people, they only know the person just by their first name. They may only know the person just by their first name and their last name. But the most important thing they want to hear in this question, when they say just what is her name or what is his name, you think it's very simple, but the most thing they're paying attention to listen to is knowing his or her middle name. You know him or you know her. What is his or her full name? Make sure when you say his or her full name, you add his or her middle name. I think it's very important, because most people, they just know the person they're talking to, the person they're in a relationship with just their first name and their last name. That is it. Although I know that some people, they don't have a middle name, but if you in that position that the person that did your petition does not have a middle name, that's fine. They know because they have all the details. But if he or she have a middle name, make sure that when they ask this question, you give them exactly the full name included with the middle name. And again, the second question I remember vividly that they asked me that very day on my interview in the US Embassy in Nigeria was, you have traveled to Malaysia. Can we see your police report from Malaysia? Exactly how the lady asked me that question is, I have seen that you have traveled to Malaysia for your studies. Can we have your police report from Malaysia? And for real, do you know when I know about this was just like few weeks? Let me say, I know about this, that was December, and my interview is January 2nd. I know about this, nobody told me about it, that I have to get a police report from all the country I've been to until December. And the next month is my interview. That was when I run ahead that schedule to make sure how I'm gonna get that. And luckily I was able to get my police report from Malaysia. I have a lot of friends already there, and I applied it online, and my friend went there and picked it up for me. And luckily it gets to me before my interview. So if you are in this process and you have traveled to any country, even though it's 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 countries, make sure you gather your police report from those countries, especially the country you've been to for over 6 months or ahead. 6 months or ahead. That's exactly what they require. A country that you've been to like 6 months or ahead of it. So make sure you get your police report from that country. Again, I remember vividly and clearly the third question that the counselor, which is the person that interviewed me, asked me that very day was Fiancé's mother's name and what is her father's name. And definitely, I'm this kind of person, like right from the time I was, talking to my, wife today, when we started at the beginning, I make sure that I build a relationship, not just to me and her. I make sure I build a relationship even to her family. I know everything about her family. I know everything about, her parents. I know her 2 parents. I know her siblings. Every of her siblings' name, I know them. I have talked with them. I spoke with them several times. So when they asked me this question, it wasn't like a shock to me. I know the full name of my wife's mom, and I know the full name of my wife's dad. So immediately they asked me that question, I simply gave it to them. So make sure, that's why I told you those are simple questions, but it's well needed for you to get ready and prepare yourself before the time. Because it's something that that you wouldn't be panicked to respond to them. And there's one thing I really want you guys to know here in this video is these people that do this interview to you, they are very, very sensitive. It's a profession to them. Interviewing you is a profession to them. So they are psychologically prepared for you. How you respond to any question makes them to even ask you more questions. And I want you guys to do this and make sure you are bold enough. Don't panic. If you are into this process and it's getting to the point of your interview, and I'm pretty sure you that are watching this video right now, you have watched our video of USCIS process part 1 and part 2. If you watch that video, you got to know that it's gonna make everything much easier for you to get to this step right now of the interview. This step of the interview is the final stage when everything has been approved by USCIS in the country of United States of America. Then that is when the interview comes in. So make sure that if you have not watched that video, go out there. The video is already in our channel. Watch the part 1 before watching the part 2 so that you understand it clearly. Because you don't just jump into the part 2 without watching the part 1. It will make you not to really understand everything as much as possible. So the best thing you're going to do is Go to our channel right now, watch the part 1 of USCIS process for the K1 visa, and also watch the part 2. The part 2 is where we give the detail, the full detail of how the process, every form, everything that we submitted to USCIS before we get approval. Then coming to the US embassy in the country of the beneficiary. So, as I was saying before, these are the possible questions that they're gonna ask you, or something very much similar to that. And the most important thing I really want you guys to really know is the most, like 80 to 90% of the question they're gonna ask you is most about the petitioner, the person that filed for that form I-129F, which is the most important form for the K1 visa. So if you are the beneficiary, you know you're the one going for the interview in the US embassy in your country, make sure that you are well prepared. Make sure that everything that you need to know about your petitioner, which is the one in the United States of America, that you know everything deep down. So going back to the questions, I remember again another question that they asked me, which is like the fourth question, was what is the address of my petitioner? What is the full address of my petitioner? That address is very important. If your petitioner address changed before your interview, make sure that they update it in USCIS. Make sure your petitioner update the address. It's like when he or she filed for this K1 visa, which is this form that he or she submitted in USCIS, definitely your petitioner put the address, and that address is well recognized. That address, they're gonna send him or her the approval or every steps that they are trying to respond to you guys. That's where they are gonna send all those letters or everything, how they're gonna recontact you guys. That address right there is very important. You have to know it, you the beneficiary. And if peradventure you the petitioner change address before the beneficiary interview, make sure you the petitioner update your address in USCIS, because definitely or mostly they're gonna ask this same question to you. So I remember vividly that my wife today, the time that she filed our K1 visa, that they were living in an address which is different from the one when I went for my interview. Both the address, I have it offered. I know the address. If they need the old one, I'll give it to them. If they need the new one, I'll give it to them. But what they asked me is the current address of my petitioner, of which I know that my wife was able to update it in USCIS before even my interview, which is very important. So make sure you know the address of your petitioner. Again, there comes in the fifth question. The fifth question was the hobbies. What's the hobbies of my petitioner? It sounds silly, but it's very important. You have to know if someone you know vividly, someone you know very well, someone you have built a relationship with, someone you have chemistry with or biology, whatever be it, definitely someone you have a good chemistry with, you're gonna make sure that you know everything about him or her. So in this question, it looks simple, but it's well needed. Make sure that you know everything about the person, and when they throw you this question, you were able to answer it. Don't panic, because how you respond to any question matters a lot. As I was saying before, these people are well professional in doing this interview. So how you respond to every question, how you respond to them in every question, as I said again, how you respond to them in every question matters a lot. If you respond to them being panicked, they're gonna know there's something fishy. Then they will throw you more questions that will make you be well panicked, that will make you even make more mistakes. And when you make a lot of mistakes, that is sorry. That is total disqualification for your visa. So make sure that you prepare yourself and be bold. Be bold enough to give it to them. Because why I'm saying this, because I remember vividly that the first time I went to interview in US Embassy, back in 2012 or 2011, when I was going for my school, because the first school I really want to go was school in US. Back then, before I went to my school in Malaysia, I went to interview in USCIS, in US Embassy in Nigeria, and they denied me visa 2 times. Because why? It's not because I don't have all the information for my school that I'm going to. It's not because I don't have all the information of the school I want to go to. It's mostly because of my response. I was afraid for no just reason. I don't know the kind of spirit I have then. I wish I can just bring that spirit and slap it. Like, then I was so afraid. I was panicking. What am I panicking for? I don't know. I have everything needed for that interview, but my response was so like it wasn't needed. I answered every question with being so afraid, like being so deep afraid. Like, and the more they see that you are afraid, the more they throw you some serious questions that you don't know what to say. And when you get to that point, that's final. You're going home without any visa. I'm saying this with all experience. I'm saying this with deep down experience of all the experience I had with these people before. I never knew that I would get even a time again thinking about going to United States of America. I have already removed my mind from that area until I met my wife. I went to my first interview in US Embassy in Nigeria 2011. The second one was 2012. I was going for school. I got an admission in 2 schools in US. And it gets to the point of me going for my interview. Everything has been approved. My admission was given to me. Everything was good. And when I go for my interview, I was panicking for no just reason. And they saw those, those faces on me, and they throw me some crazy questions that I don't know what to say. And that was the end of the interview, and I didn't go home with any interview. I didn't go to school in US. That's when I started thinking of another country I have to go to school to. So the manner of approach of your response to every question matters a lot. It's not just about the question. It's about how you respond to it. Make sure that you don't have any reason. Those people are human beings like you. They have one head, they have two legs, 2 hands. They're not just more better than you. They're just like the person trying to interview you. So if you can just have in mind that that's just a human being like you, don't be afraid of them. The only thing they can say is yes or no. And that's not the end of the world. So go there, answer every question they throw to you with boldness. Answer it facing them, look into their eyes and answer them. Make sure they know that you're not afraid of them. Make sure they know that you are not panicking for no reason. Because whatever you're doing is authentic. If whatever you're doing is authentic, there's no reason for you to panic. I don't see it, the reason why someone will go there and being afraid of anything. So the most important thing I was really eager to explain in this video is, first of all, making sure you know everything about your petitioner, which is the person that filed for this whole process. Again, you being bold enough to answer every question you know of. It's authentic. Why would you be afraid? There's no reason for that. So please, my brother or my sister that is in this process, in this situation, make sure you go in there. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Answer every question straightforward. Just go straight to the point. Answer the question and let them be, and let them throw you another question. You have like 15 to 30 minutes in that interview. So make sure you answer every question directly to what they ask you. Don't go around the bush. Hit it direct, and they will know that you know exactly what you're saying. And they will even, there's a way you answer your question. That's the reality. Let me tell you this truth. There's a way you answer your questions. They will not ask you much question. My interview was not long, and I got out with my visa. My interview was not long, and they did not ask me too much questions. It's like 6 questions that they threw to me, and everything was like, congratulations, fortunatus, come so there and pick up your visa. And that was it. I go back home rejoicing. So The most important thing you have to know is making sure you know your petitioner vividly. This is a reality. Know him or her as much as you can. Again, the day of your interview, go to that US embassy in your country, go there being so bold, answer every question they throw to you. And again, I remember another question, which is like the 50th question or so that they threw to me was, which school did my wife attend? You might not even think they will ask you such a question. And I know my wife so very well, then we are not yet married, but I know her so much that everything about her I know. There's nothing about her that I don't know. I know the high school she went to. I know the university she went to. I know the dentist and college she went to. Everything about her school, I know it. So when they ask me that question, I simply answer them. And they know that question they ask you, they know it already. They just want to hear the response. Don't think that they don't know. They know everything. Both of you, they know your life story. Then, and the 6th question they asked me was, how did both of us meet? I am pretty sure this is not a surprise question to you that are going to this interview. The way both of you meet, you have to know how to narrate the answer. Make sure you narrate it in a way that's going to be short, well summarized, and simple. Don't make it to be so long. Explain it direct to the point. Explain it in the way they will understand it more. They already know, they just want to hear from you. This question is very important. How do both of you meet? In what way do both of you meet? So in any way both of you met each other, explain to them or give it to them. If both of you met in Facebook, in social media, in person, in a family member, introducing each and every one of you to each other, in any way, in any manner that both of you met each other, just answer it. Be honest. Just be honest about it. Be honest about it. Then the next question that was asked me that very day was, which hospital was she born? And I remember the hospital back in Pine Bluff where my wife was born. I know it. This is a question you will never believe they will ask you. This is a question you will never believe that they will ever ask you. And I remember the hospital, exactly the hospital my wife was born. And in this question, there's no reason for you to lie because they know about this. They know about exactly the hospital your petitioner, he or she was delivered to. And in that place, the best place they will easily know about it is on the birth certificate. Every American person that is born in America, they always make sure they put the hospital that the person was born. Even when my son was born, in his birth certificate, they put the hospital. So in this question, in every question, answer it straight to the point. Don't just try to make it much elaborate. Answer it straight and make sure that you are honest. Make sure you are honest in every of the questions. Answer it straight and forward. And another question I remember that they asked me, I think that was second to the last question that they asked me, have I ever been denied visa in the US embassy? And I say yes. This is the question a lot of people try to lie, try to beat around the bush. There's no need for that. The reality is that there's no need for you to be trying to make them to know or believe you are not or you have never been denied a visa. If you have never been denied a visa, you say it. But if you're like me, I have been denied a visa 2 times. The first time I wanted to travel out of Nigeria was to go for my school, as I was saying earlier. And the school I wanted to go was a school in the US. And they denied me a visa 2 times for my school. And I told them the year, the month I was denied a visa in this same embassy. So they know it's on their system. Immediately you went there and put your thumbprint, all your details is right there. So if they ask you any question concerning you, they know. If they ask you a question for your petition, which is the person in the United States of America, they know the person already, they know everything. So Make sure you answer every question honest, being honest to every question. And the last question I remember that they asked me was the birth date of my wife. If you know your petitioner vividly, you have to know that you will know their birth date. So in that same thing, it's very simple. If you know that person very well, you make sure you answer that question straight and forward. And for these are the questions they ask me. It might be similar and it might be something different, but it cannot be more than this. Mostly in this video, I really want you guys to know that this is something you have to know everything about your petitioner. Make sure you know deep down of every story about your petitioner. And when you know this, the rest is totally simple. When you know this, you ask every question straight and forward, you got to know that there's no way they will deny you the visa. So what I want you guys to do today is, if you're in this process, if you're in this situation of K1 visa, make sure you, the beneficiary, you prepare yourself very well before your interview. Make sure that every step that needed for you to go for the interview, taking it and making sure that when you go to that interview, you are well prepared. Make sure that you go to the hospital that the embassy directed you to go. Very important. Make sure that every police report needed for you to give to them, you give it to them. Number one police report is your country. If you are from Nigeria, make sure that you get the right police report right from head office in Lagos, in Ikoyi. That is where you're gonna get the right, correct one. Make sure you go to Ikoyi in Lagos State, in the headquarters of police, and get the police report. If you're in Ghana or any other country in Africa or in Asian country, in Europe, in any part of the world, make sure you get the police report right from the right source. Well stamped and taken care of. And again, if you are traveled to any other country out of your country, make sure and you stay there for more than 6 months, make sure you get the police report from that country you have traveled to. Don't do it like thinking that they might not know. They will know. Give it to them exactly they needed it. And again, when you go to that hospital appointment, make sure that everything injection that is needed for you to take, you take everything complete, and they give you that folder. Make sure you don't tamper with it, don't open it until you go to your interview. Don't open it until they tell you to. You have to submit it to the US embassy in your country. Then when your interview goes successfully, which I pray that each and every one of you that is watching this video today, that your interview will go successfully and they will grant you your visa if you really needed it. They will grant you your visa and successfully you will come into this country of United States of America and be real to your partner and make sure that you love your partner to the top notch. Make sure both of you build a relationship. Make sure both of you are deep down in love with each other. And make sure both of you are honest to each other. And again, when your visa is being granted to you, they will give you a very big folder. A big folder that you don't need to open. A big folder that there's no way you have to tamper with it until you get to the airport in the United States of America. Not to any transit before United States of America. The airport, the first airport you get into, whether in New York and Atlanta, any first airport in United States of America you get into, that's the place they'll ask you for that big folder they give to you while they are giving you your passport with your visa. And that folder is another thing you don't need to open, you don't need to tamper with it, you don't need to touch it. Just make sure you put it in your, in the well protected place that there's nothing that is going to tamper with it, that's going to tear it up. And when you get to the airport, you hand it over to the immigration. When they ask you, definitely 100% sure they will ask you. So when you give it to them, they ask you any few questions they will ask you, and they will stamp your 90 days visa. That's where 90 days comes in. That's when they talk about K1 visa, they say 90 days visa or 90 days fiancé visa. That's where it comes in. It doesn't come in with the first visa they give to you in your country. The first visa they'll give to you in your country is just a visa for you to travel out of that your country to United States of America. Then when you get to the airport, that's when they will give you the real visa. That's when they will stamp you the real stamp for the 90 days fiancé visa. And when they stamp you that 90 days fiancé visa, you make sure you get married within that 90 days. You have to get married on or before that 90 days. And when you get married, then that comes in other process of your green card. Please, and please, I know I'm not gonna be saying this here, but know that you don't need to work when you get to United States. Immediately you come to United States of America, make sure you get your green card before you start working. Make sure you get your green card and your work permit before you start working. It's very important. So when you do this, everything will be so smooth for you. Everything will be appropriately smooth for you. Everything is gonna go smoothly. This is a step that you need to go by it step by step. There's nothing you have to jump. You cannot jump one and go into the two. You have to go from one step to another, and make sure when you follow all these steps, definitely everything is gonna be well good for you, and everything will go smooth. So today's video, I'm really here to really explain to you guys on how my interview was, on how and the possible questions they might ask you. The possible question they might ask you in your interview back in your country. So make sure you organize yourself, prepare yourself, make sure everything needed, you really have it with you. And thank you guys for watching our videos. We really appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We really love you guys. I and my wife, we love you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming to our channel, watching our videos, subscribing to our channel. If you have not subscribed to our channel today, I urge you, it's not going to cost you anything. It's a free of charge. It's totally free. Just click that button, subscribe so that if you can be able to notify or see a view of our videos. Subscribe, like, comment, and again in this same video we're gonna put our email, so that if you have any question that you don't want to maybe put on the comment, you want to send it direct to us for us to respond to you for any of these processes. We have been giving you the videos, whether for USCIS process for the K1 visa, whether for the interview for your US embassy, whether for your green card, which I promise you guys again, in time to come, I will make sure I and my wife sit down together to make sure we bring to you guys for the process for our green card. That's another process entirely. So please subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and thank you guys for watching our videos. We love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. God bless. Thank you.